Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Baja Pips. It's Sunday, April 16th, 2023, 3:45 p.m. I'm in China, and today I'm going to be doing my weekly technical breakdown. Want to update y'all with what's going on with the pairs this week and follow up from my previous week. And yeah, in this video, I actually have the MetaTrader 4 account pulled up just for y'all to be able to actually see what's going on. And you can see my current trades that I have open right now. And I'm going to break this down in just a moment. I also I have some tabs on the bottom with some other pairs. And I'm going to do this one by one with the pairs that I'm not doing this one right now, but the pairs that I basically broke down last week, I want to update y'all with the current environment of the market. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. Right now, we're looking at Audnzd. I wanted to just start off with Euro USD, explain what happened here and why I'm currently no longer in a trade on Euro USD. I actually closed out in minor profits. That was earlier in the week. It was close to break even. I had a long-term target, but there was the CPI announcements at the end of the week, and that kind of stirred up the direction of the markets. And I don't chase price. I actually wait. So you can see I had a buy stop above. It did not get triggered, and I actually had some longs leading on up to here. I was bullish Euro USD at the end of the week, but my previous post, I was actually looking to enter some shorts, and it did not get triggered. So what had happened was that the Euro USD, I'm going to go from the daily chart, and I'm going to work my way down. The Euro USD, pretty much it was on a bear run because it was under the swing highs of January, which is this year. And this year it just recently broke yearly highs. So that to me is a bullish sign, but I'm not sure how bullish it will be. I might have to wait a few days just to see the market sentiment pick up. And as of right now, it's not the greatest time for me to enter a long. Um, Going long a couple of days ago, like I did, was very good. That was the middle of the week, so I didn't have an update for you guys. But going long in the middle of the week was a good thing. But then price kind of hit the resistance, and like I said, I had a trailing stop loss, and price did reverse, tap those trailing stop losses, and kept on going down full force. So right now we have a potential bear market setup. I don't know how long it's gonna happen, but if price does break below the lows of 1.09704, I might look for some potential shorts just for the start of the week. It looks like the market is possibly going to become bearish, and yeah, if it keeps on going higher though, I'm going to cancel that trade and just wait for a potential setup in either direction. I am so bullish overall long term. If we do draw a trend line, we can actually see that long term bullish move. Just a moment, just want to make sure this is visually clear for you all. So yeah, if I draw a trend line, we can see that long-term bullish move, but we did recently just break that. Like you can see the several hours leading into the market, and it was a pretty massive move. It's 105 pips. If we look at the ATR, I'm going to insert the daily ATR just so y'all can see the average true range of this pair. I usually do a 10-week average, so right here you're going to see it's been about 84 pips, and 100 pips is a whole full day's worth of price movement against it. So that could be a bad thing, or it could just be taking a break. Like I said, it is at some highs, some resistance for the year. But my next area of target, if I am going to go long, is I'm going to look for some highs of last March. So right there. And that's going to be approximately 350 pips away from that high. So I'm going to need a few things to be set up in order to go long, and that's going to be first of all, this bear run has to be cleared up, definitely, and I kind of need to see like a breakout, some sort of pullback and continuation northbound. And as of right now, we're not seeing that. We're seeing the complete opposite. We see the previous bull run just got erased, and that's showing a lot of sellers stepping into the market. There are buyer stops right here, and there are stops down below here. So if we do end up continuing down, I would actually short from here, have about a 40 to 50 pip stop loss, and I'm going for about 200 plus pips. So I'll be going to the downside right around here. So mark this one up for y'all to see. 1.07499, but I may even get out a little bit earlier around 1.07497. If it does hit these stops, I believe that these are all buyers with stop losses nearby. So of course it's gonna influence the market to continue on going down. So at most, I'll probably aim for just a little bit past beyond these lows of 1.07915. And that would be my bear market setup if I was to be short. Of course, along the way, I'm going to have trailing stop losses to pretty much, reduce my risk along the way. But yeah, you can see I had a 15 lot. This was a kind of high risk. As you can see, I have a 51K account on this example, and that's about 51,460 USD. So I will have to reduce that lot size by a lot when the markets do open. It was the end of the week, and I actually was just like taking a certain type of trade setup. I had that, and my take profit target was, you can see, way up there. I don't know why I did that, but that was a very long-term target, and of course that would have tripled my account, but that's not what I'm aiming for. I definitely have to reduce my lot size in this account. Just starting up my swing trading again, so that's going to be changed once the market opens. I don't think the price is going to gap up that high, so that's pretty much my Euro USD analysis. I do believe that if we do resume our bull trend, we have about 350 pips north, and I'm going to be trailing my stops along the way up there too. Bring this down a little bit, and yeah, that's about it for the Euro USD. Very clean and simple. Next up, I'm going to go into the next pair, which is Audnzd. I like this pair. I picked this at the end of last week because I actually seen a lot of great potential. I seen a potential new bull run, and that's why I got into this pair. There's a lot of stops above here, so I'm gonna pull up my crosshair so y'all can see right now. There's a lot of stops from March 15th all the way through, and we even have breakout sellers that actually failed, and their stops recently got hit. So I was extremely bullish on this, and I'm very excited for this because this is a setup that I normally take on my it's a false breakout, but it's a setup that I normally take on my 1 minute charts. So those of you that are curious, I don't really have a course for my scalping yet. I don't think I might have one anytime soon, but for my swing trading, I still have the life grid. And if you want to learn more about that, just send me a message, or you know how to reach me. But back to the charts. There are a lot of stops above. You can see that there's plenty of stops. And initially it should have went down because there were buyer stops right here that were triggered, and it should have continued down. So I did have a sell stop. And once again, that was kind of high risk. On my swing trading, I do risk about 3% per trade because it's longer term trades. On my scalping, I try to risk 1% or less. But for swing trading, I do risk about 3%. So this one was a little bit too high of a risk once again, so I have to reduce that. But I'm going to cancel this order when the markets begin again because, like I said, we have a false breakout to the downside and a potential push northbound. And I would like to continue on with the bull trend. And I could read this on a daily, but I'm going to break it down into more fine detail on the 1 hour time frame so you can see more or less what's going on. So Audnzd, I actually did get in last week. At the end of last week, I got in a pretty good trade on Friday, and I took price on up to weekly highs. We can see that it's not just weekly highs, but I zoom out, it's also monthly highs. So that is a big green flag. It's a big green flag. It's a go for me. We can see that there were sellers prior to that. So we go to the left. We can see buyers took price on up. It's a huge accumulation area, basically. I'm gonna mark that off. So this little area right here was a huge accumulation area. And there are buyers and sellers trapped in this 10 pip area. So what ended up happening was March price was rejected. Look at all the way from beginning of March. So we were on a bear trend, right? And price dropped at the beginning of March. And several times buyers try to push price on up. Long story short, they failed, continue down, right? And then sellers try to bring price down. It looks like sellers got exhausted and weak. So now we have what I call a range, bouncing back and forth between the range. If it's big enough, you can trade it. If it's not big enough, you just sit aside. This range was big enough intra-week if you wanted to take some trades to the up and down bottom of the range until it broke out. It failed to break out lows of the range, as you can see, until April. It broke down lower. Now, this was either a true breakout or a false breakout. Now, I would not have entered a short unless I seen a solid pullback, and this was sketchy. So you could look, it did not pull back the right way, and it kept on going up. This was what I call a potential reversal. It went back up into the previous range, and right now you can see prices now going on a ascending trend upwards. So you have a swing low, connect that. We have a trend line. So price was bullish at that point. It kept on going bullish, and it did not look back until the 12th of April, which was the beginning of last week. We could see price did have a brief moment of profit taking. I don't think this is a reversal. It looks like more like profit taking. Does this look like a reversal, y'all? There's the impulsive trend. This was corrective, and the corrective turned into an impulsive trend. So this is a very, very, very big sign of a possible large breakout. Now, how big would that breakout possibly be? Just by looking at this data, about 200 pips. So now we're experiencing a false breakout again, which is pretty much a smaller version of what just happened last week. So on Thursday, we seen price dip down briefly, and my sell stop was way down here anyways, but it dipped down briefly and kind of shot up a little bit, and price went back and retested those lows and failed. So right now we have a very, very aggressive buying right now, and I have some longs, like I said, because I got my entries in from the 5-minute time frame, and I was actually able to take these longs upwards. So these longs currently, they went up to as high as 40 pips, but I'm currently about 25-ish pips in the money. And then I just got triggered into some more longs based on my time frame analysis. So this right here is what I call a false breakout trade. There's just too much buying pressure to really say this is going to go down anymore. And once we break these highs of 1.08, which is, I'm going to bring this one up now so I can show you all the current range we're in, 1.08132, I do see price potentially skyrocketing about 1 to 200 pips north. And I'm going to go back out to the daily now so I can mark up the area where I would take my target. So without even measuring it, we have some seller stops right here. We have some stops right here, and we have some stops way up here. I would just look to take it here just to be on the safe side, because we don't know how large the move is going to be just yet. And measuring by the magnitude of this previous move, it was about 200 pips. So I'd feel safe taking profit at least 100 something pips. I wouldn't try to go for the full 200, but as you can see, my buy stop profit target is actually at 200 pips. Once again, this is a large trade. I have to reduce my lot size. I just kind of, it's the end of the week, and I was able to get in from the 5-minute time frame. I'm going to show y'all my entry from the 5-minute time frame so you can kind of see what I did. And yeah, this is my entry time frame. So I break down my top-down analysis from the daily, hourly, then I get to the 5-minute. I don't use the 1 minute because it's not really it's a scalping time frame, and there's a lot of noise and news and everything. You don't want to long-term off the 1 minute. I trade 1 minute, 2 hours a day, and I'm done. The narrative changes the next day, the next session, every 2 hours, the narrative changes. So I don't hold any trades past 15 minutes on the 1 minute. But let's get back into the swing trade. So my entry was based off of the fact that we had some sellers right here. It broke. Psychology of the markets is if there are some sellers piled in the area and price does knock their stops out, it's kind of like a physical law of physics, buyers or sellers. It can happen both ways. But if it knocks out a cluster of sellers, more than likely price is going to surge. And that's what we're experiencing. So it was obvious for me. I seen that this happened. I actually got my entry in over here because I seen that it was a cluster leading. There's a cluster. It was opportunity for me. I seen this was a path of least resistance. So I actually took the trade from right here. So I got in based off of this right here. And you can see my timestamp. This was 12:20 on that time. And you can see this one, it was entered at 12:54. So everything that I'm saying makes sense if you're following me. So 12:54 was around this bar. I got into my longs. My stop loss was less than 10 pips. And I was actually able to bring price on up 2 times my stop loss. Now, I should have collected target, because it was the end of the week. But I got into another trade because I seen that it was so strong, the bullish momentum, that it just never even went back, and then it kind of consolidated at these highs. So that's kind of where we were chilling at. And then I seen price break out of this consolidation area for even more potential move on up. So at this point, this was a complex pullback. I didn't really want to buy off of this, but then I started seeing price kind of churn its way back onto the upside. So I figured I hold it through the weekend for the gap on up because I'm assuming that it's gonna gap on up. So that's it for that. I broke it down all the way to the 5 minute, fine detail. Hopefully you understand everything that I just did. I am long-term bullish. We might have some time of congestion getting into the beginning of the week. On Sunday, I'm actually gonna try to close these on out. Wait for a break of 1.08145. So I would like to break a little bit higher than this, about 1.08153. If I can see that break, then I can trail my stop loss maybe about 25 pips. So basically, this would be a risk-free trade, trail about 25 pips. And I'll be risking 25 pips, and I'll be going for ultimately 200 pips, but my main target would be set at 150 pips, which is about 6 to 1 reward to risk. So it's about a 6R trade. So let's watch this play out. In worst case scenario, I'm not bearish at all. But in order for me to get bearish again, not only would it have to hit my stop loss, but it needs to continue to show push to the downside. So for me to sell again, I need to see these most recent lows of 1.05853 broken in order for me to be bearish again. And that's highly unlikely with this type of buying pressure. So hopefully y'all understand this top down weekly breakdown technical analysis. I'm back in the game with my swing trading. I had to refine my edge, but as you can see, I can read the entire market, the entire price action. I know what I'm doing. I know why price moves. And if you are interested in learning, I'm not really doing much coaching during this season because I've been working on my own skill set, but I am willing to take on a few potential students. So for those of you that are interested, you know how to contact me. I have my Instagram. It's going to be in the description below. I only have one Instagram. I have imposters that tried copying my profile. I don't know why. Maybe it's because my name is blowing up and I'm actually the one really showing some real-time trading. I know other legends in the game and they don't even have Instagram for various reasons. Maybe this is one of them. They have like a Twitter, or some of them don't even have social media because they're old heads. They're like 40, 50 years old, 60 years old. So, that's who I'm learning. That's who I've been learning from. And yes, it's possible to read price action. It's possible to be consistently profitable. Everything is a narrative. It can be read. Just because it can be read does not mean you should take the trade. So that is a skill that you have to learn, but it will last you a lifetime because you're actually learning to read price action. That's my weekly technical breakdown on Euro USD and AUD NZD. If I feel like making another video later on in the day, I will. But these are the two pairs that I'm going to be focused on at the beginning of the week, and I'll be adding more to my arsenal. I hope y'all enjoy this video. I'm back in it, and yeah, let's see this happen. Either or, I'm gonna be winning this week. So y'all have a great week. Good luck trading, and like I said, you know how to contact me. So if you have any questions or you're interested in any type of training from me, just shoot me a message. Y'all have a great day.